B-2 stealth bomber as the core strategic strike force of the United States Air Force has long existed in the global military arena with its mysterious image of air ghost. And among them, the unit price is as high as 2.4 billion US dollars. So do you know, how much does it cost to deploy once? From a practical point of view, the operating cost of a single B-2 bomber is also quite large. According to Air Force estimates, each B-2 bomber sortie costs roughly between $200,000 and $500,000, but that's just a minimum estimate. During an actual sortie, the cost of the sortie goes well beyond the cost of the flight itself. Overall, the total cost of a B-2 bomber sortie can often run into the tens of millions of dollars, especially on long-range strike missions. Here's a look at what the cost of a sortie consists of. The cost of operating the aircraft itself. The fuel consumption of the B-2 bomber is a significant part of its sortie costs. The B-2 has a huge fuel tank capacity and a maximum range of nearly 12 million kilometers. The fuel required for a single long-haul flight and combat mission is costly. Fuel consumption is roughly $130,000 per hour of flight. Crew and maintenance costs. B-2 flights require at least 2 pilots, in addition to a number of ground technicians and support personnel for logistical support. The high technical requirements and maintenance difficulties of the B-2 mean that rigorous inspections and repairs are required prior to each mission to ensure the aircraft's stealth capabilities and operational effectiveness. These maintenance and personnel costs add up to millions of dollars. Range and mission distance. The B-2 bomber's missions are often high-intensity and long-range, such as long-range nuclear strike missions that often require crossing multiple time zones and possible in-flight refueling. Aerial refueling is extremely expensive, as each refueling involves dedicated aerial refueling aircraft and pilots, and the cost of this component, too, may further escalate the cost of the sortie. Weapons systems and munitions costs. The B-2 bomber is equipped with a variety of advanced weapons systems, including conventional bombs, precision-guided munitions, and nuclear weapons. On a single sortie, it is often necessary to carry different types of weapons. The cost of these weapons cannot be ignored. For example, B-2 may be equipped with precision-guided bombs, costing tens of thousands of dollars each, and if a large-scale strike is carried out, the cost of ammunition for the entire mission will also rise. Overall support system for military operations. Each sortie of the B-2 bomber is not only a sortie of the aircraft itself. In order to ensure the smooth execution of its mission, a series of systems such as rear command, tactical support, intelligence gathering, real-time satellite communications, and so on are required to provide a full range of protection for the B-2. And the operating costs of these facilities and support systems are also part of the cost of B-2 sorties. According to some unofficial estimates, a B-2 bomber sortie can cost $2 million or more. And when it comes to long-range missions, aerial refueling, large-scale bombing, or high-risk missions, that number can quickly soar into the tens of millions of dollars. After understanding all of this, let's talk a little more at this point. What makes B-2 bomber sorties so expensive? There are actually several factors behind it. The B-2 bomber, the world's first stealth bomber, had a lot of technology and money invested in its development phase. In the early 1980s, the U.S. Air Force began to develop this revolutionary stealth bomber. A large number of innovative technologies were used, including stealth coatings, special fuselage design, advanced flight control systems, etc., all of which required complex and expensive engineering and manufacturing. In addition, one of the greatest features of the B-2 bomber is its stealth capability, which allows it to penetrate enemy radar defenses and conduct precision strikes. This stealth design gives the B-2 an irreplaceable strategic advantage in combat. However, the stealth technology itself is quite expensive to maintain and protect. Further, the high cost of the bomber is also reflected in the huge logistical support system behind it. In order to ensure that the B-2 is mission-ready, it must be staffed with highly specialized technicians, maintenance personnel, and logistical support facilities. These professionals are required to monitor and maintain every detail of the aircraft in real time, making it quite expensive. In addition, the B-2 undergoes extensive inspections and testing before and after each sortie, which also significantly increases its overall cost of sorties. Then there is the fact that it was produced in relatively small numbers, with only 21 in service. As a result, the unit cost of the B-2 is itself very high. Due to the limited number of units produced, the costs of maintenance and operations are not optimized for scale effects, which keeps the cost per sortie still high. As one of the world's most expensive strategic weapons, the high cost of the B-2 stealth bomber sorties is not solely determined by the maintenance costs of the aircraft itself, but is influenced by a combination of factors. Although its expensive mobilization cost may make many people frown, its irreplaceable combat capability still makes it occupy an important position in the global military power comparison.